Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Day 5 of the festival at Dusk in Nottingham. I am Manuel Hedley. Night lineup. Belter. We have got for edition of Cash Game Challenge. Starting off right now with 5-10 No Limit Hold'em. And I'm happy to say that I will be joined in the booth momentarily once more by the man himself, Mr. Manuel Zapf. And we had a banger of a stream yesterday. I am reliably informed. It was my night off. So Manuel, I have a couple of questions for you. Question 1, did you cope without me? Did you miss me? And question 2, I heard that we had an absolutely chaotic, manic action stream, and I believe we have a new leader in the Cash Game Challenge chase for the €1,600 Malta package. Fill me in.
First of all, welcome back, Andrew. Big shout outs to Simon Trumper. Once again, it was an absolute honor to have him here in the booth yesterday. I really enjoyed the stream, and I think everybody did. It was so much action. We had a huge £7,000 pot. For everybody who was not here, it was a 2-5-10 game, same stakes that we play today. But there was a straddle to 20, straddle to 40, and a straddle to 80. And it was Daniel Hong with the pocket kings scooping that pot, moving into first place of the Cash Game Challenge with the profit of £5,500, even slightly bit more than that. 1,103.6 big blind is the number to beat now. It will be very, very tough. And secondly, Andrew, I know I promised you not to talk about Valentine's Day anymore, and I won't, but I missed you yesterday.
Now that, I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie, I was expecting you to give me the rubdown. To say, Mr. Trumper, Simon, the legend himself, outshone you at every turn. But you've gone back and you've been kind, you've given me another Valentine's Day reference, Manny, though. But you know what, I can't hate on it when the love is directed at me. Welcome along, everybody. As we have said, this is day 5 of the festival series in Knots. And we have 2 more streams for you this evening. This first one is 5-10 No Limit. Later on, we are going to have a No Limit Hold stream with even higher stakes. We're looking forward to it. Day 5 of 7, Manny. We're actually getting through this week. It is flying by pretty quick.
And it's the last day that we're going to stream Cash Game, I believe. There's going to be the big tournaments from tomorrow on. I'm definitely going to see the Sunday final table, which I'm very excited about. But let's see what the folks have for us today.
Yeah, we are very excited, guys. Tomorrow, we're going to have coverage of the 1K No Limit High Roller. And then on Sunday, as Manny just referenced, final day coverage of the main event. The final flight, I believe, is starting momentarily, or in fact, I believe it's 9 p.m. And we already have close to 500 runners, so we're already basically broken the guarantee with another flight to come. Still a little bit of delay, Reg, I believe, in the last performance flight. It's going to be a huge prize pool. We are pretty stoked. Although, Manny, I'm in trouble for my 75,000 up top prediction, I think.
I hope we're gonna have 75. I mean, you said it so many times. 75k for first place. I believe it by now.
Fingers crossed. Still 1 turbo flight to come. We will see. We will have the numbers for you, the final numbers, as we go into that coverage over the weekend. So this is 2-5-10, guys. No Limit Hold'em. Time for the lineup of players. We have Stephen Wilkie, Adam Maxwell, Mr. James Jagger, David Ledden, Robert Noor, Eels Jacob Linden. This is where we get the test, Manny, of the pronunciation. We have Espen Sandvik. I think I managed. Rob Finch, David Stratton, Adrian Luria, Henry Strudwick, and Ben Courtney, all on the list. They will all be at the table at certain points during this first 2-hour stream. So Manny, 1,106 big blind profit yesterday for Mr. Hong. I mean, is anybody topping that?
I can't believe it's going to happen. I mean, it's such a big number. What we need for that is lots of straddles, lots of action, lots of bomb pots, maybe some blind raises. We haven't seen that yet. But we need very special action to reach that number, I believe.
Sounds like I chose the wrong night to take off. So we're going to hop into the action now that we have set the scene for tonight's play. Espen on the button, opening to £30 with ace-7. Adam straight in there with a 3-bet with the king 10 of diamonds, getting it done. This is a 2-5-10 game, guys, with a £10 straddle. Should still be potential, Manny, for some big pots, I would say.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, all over the week we've seen aggressive play, lots of 3-bets, many multi-way flops. Yesterday we've seen a big pair almost every hand, so that guarantees action. Let's see how hot the players can run today with their starting holdings.
For sure, look forward to seeing how things develop. Guys, we are coming to you on a 30-minute delay from Dusk Till Dawn card room in Nottingham. This is day 5 of the festival series. A big welcome to everybody joining us on Twitch and on YouTube. As always, please engage with us in the chat. Any questions, any fun anecdotes? Are you playing the main? Are you in Nottingham? Let us know how it's all been going. Always look forward to interacting with you guys. And yeah, we are approaching the business end of the week. These are the last 2 editions of the Cash Game Challenge. As we have been referencing all week, whichever player wins the largest number of big blinds across all the Cash Game streams wins a €1,600 package to the festival series in Malta, 15th to 21st of May. Please check out thefestival.com. The schedule just got released yesterday, I'm told. So you can check it out, plan out your accommodation, plan out your flights. It's going to be massive. And yeah, whoever wins the most bigs gets that free €1,600 added package. Mr. Hong from yesterday it's unassailable, Manny. I don't see it being beaten, but I've been wrong before.
Yeah, you never know. Anything can happen in a poker game. Things can get out of control when you sometimes least expect it, especially Daniel Hong yesterday after 30 minutes of stream. We said, this man has not played a hand yet. How is he going to get into the fight for that package? And almost as if he heard us, he started being involved, winning big pots, and now he's in first place. So it can happen very quick.
For sure. So Espen with the open. I believe with the open. I was busy telling you about Malta. He does take it down with a £100 c-bet. As you can see, the players sitting down fairly deep stacked. A bunch of £1,500 stacks in front of us. And we will have the graphics momentarily to let you know who has what and who is leading the table.
Andrew, so you had your day off yesterday. Did you use the time to book your flight to Malta?
I'm sad to say I used my time very destructively, Manuel. No, I was meditating. I was learning about the world. No, I wasn't. I was drinking red wine and watching Man United against Barcelona with some friends after an important business dinner, shall we say. So, but yeah, had a few red wines. I'm not going to lie. Haven't booked Malta yet, but I've had a little glance at the schedule and it looks like it's going to be sick. All right, Bobby raising to 15. They must have the 7 deuce game on. Adam 3-bets the cutoff to £50. Wow, Bobby, quick 4-bet with the king 9 of diamonds. Decent amount of action early doors here.
Oh, they seem to be getting involved already, and I guess that's what we can expect from this day. This is one of the last chances to grab that package, so you might as well use it.
Absolutely. So as you can see, Rob, Adam, James, Bobby and Espen all buying in for £1,500. Jacob and Stephen being a little more cautious. But yeah, it's playing pretty deep stacked. Lots of potential for some big clashes.
Twitch chat is saying the sound is better now. Thank you so much, guys, for interacting with us. Even if there are some minor things that you want to address, always feel free.
Very simple raise and take it for Rob. This is our first cash game challenge stream of the day, guys. We'll be here for around about 2 hours. Then myself and Mr. Manuel Zapf will take an hour break. We'll be back for some even higher stakes cash. I'm waiting for confirmation of the lineup before announcing, but it should be a pretty big game. Our first big premium hand of the day, Stephen waking up with the pocket kings. Fortunately for him, no action from either the big blind or the straddle. Never a great feeling, is it, Manuel? Wake up with the kings in late position. Looks like you could be stealing. Fold, fold.
Of course, you want to see some action there. But it's better to win a small pot than to lose a big one. Yeah, lots of raise and take here. Not a lot of flops. 4-bet. Quite some steals got through. The kings got through. So, yeah, we need to see some multi-way pots here. Let's make it happen.
We'll get there. You know it's in the pipeline. Most of our streams have started off a little cautiously, and then by the end of the night, there's been a bunch of action. As you listen in to the table talk, guys, just to fill you in, this is the festival series. Thank you once more, everyone who's joining us. If you are around Nottingham, big weekend of action upcoming. As always, we have our cash games. There are a bunch of mixed games going on. The festival series, prides itself on being a mixed event festival. So lots and lots of different games. A little bit of something for everybody. We have a bunch of hospitality events. And as I said, we have these two big tournaments coming this weekend. The 1K High Roller tomorrow, which we'll be covering. £450 main event. Fortunately for Bobby, just like the king, wakes up with aces and finds absolutely no action. Guys, if you want any details about the festival series, get to thefestival.com. And for us at Dusk Till Dawn, please check out all of our social media at Club, at Live, on Twitter and Instagram, and at the Festival OG for Festival Series social media on those same two platforms.
Henry, you come from 1-1. I got told it was a 2-5 game, so. How much you playing? 1500. Not on a reel though, I will put the 10 on it.
UB Poker says any short deck cash games on the go. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm going to ask my team right now, and we'll get the answer back to you as soon as we can. Bunch of cash game tables are running. Find out for you exactly which games are in the mix.
Oh wait, is that? Oh, that's all the straddle. Do I have to do 40?
I wouldn't be surprised to find some of the short deck running here at the festival, but also I am not sure. Cannot promise you anything just yet. Trying to get the information. Seems about the right strategy there, Andrew.
Experience, Manuel. What can I tell you? Can't be promising our faithful followers things unless I'm sure. But we will get back to you on it at UB when I get the info. Interesting spot here. James defending ace-10 of clubs. Does flop top pair. Jacob with an awkward flop to want to see bet. Does decide to come to see bet for around about third pot. James comes with check call. 5 of diamonds turn. Will
Very
Jacob
thin
decide
here.
to barrel off? He does check back. Apologies, Manuel. Carry on.
I guess we can go both ways here with the king queen. Having the 2 overcards is always fairly nice. Would obviously be a little bit nicer if we had a diamond in our hand to go berserk on some diamond rivers. Definitely can see the check here with the heart and the club.
For sure. James decides to block river. Looking to, get a little value against some holdings. Not too many worse hands are going to call. But also just a little defensive bet. And wow, Jacob finding the raise to 180. Manages to find a way to take it down. Very nicely done, Manny.
Yeah, very interesting. Definitely. With the king queen obviously blocking some of the king jacks and queen jacks, but that's probably the hands he wants to target with that raise. But sniffed that out, that it was a little block bet by James, mostly bet folding. So nice bluff there, very well timed.
You know what, Manny? Sometimes you just have to ignore all the theory, right? And just say, £35 is that? You don't have a big hand. Bang, bang, bang. 180. What you gonna do, buddy? Stick that in your solver. That's what Jacob just said. £180. Did sniff out the weakness well and gets the job done.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be GTO, I do agree. Sometimes, especially in live poker, you do have a feeling. You can smell it almost that people don't have it. So yeah, just go with a read. I do agree.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to keep it old school, don't you, mate? And just look at the guy and say, no, he's not got it. He's not going to call. And then, normally when I do it, though, they snap me off, you see. And then I'm like, right, what a disaster. Off we go, off back to the cage, back onto the bank, and say, yeah, can I have a little more, please? Didn't work.
But Andrew, you don't have to be results orientated. Just because someone knows you don't have it, it doesn't make it a bad bluff.
I've been telling myself that every night before I go to bed for about the last 10 years, Manny. Anyway, guys, this is 2510 No Limit Hold'em, our cash game challenge, first stream of the night. We are warming up in the early stages. Myself and Manuel will be here for around about another hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So stick with us. As you can see, not too much action in the early goings, a bunch of similar stacks. We look to see some action as the stream progresses.
Sit 8 pass, sit 1 raise to 25, pass, and pass.
James with the raise and take with the suited king from the button.
5xing the button here, very interesting to see he is in for some big pots. Was fairly unlucky on the stream yesterday. Hope to see some recovery for him today.
So in that massive pot last night, Manny, what did we have? A 4-way all-in or something?
We did have a 4-way all-in. So it was the Pocket Kings of Dan Hong, and there were 3 other players involved. I think Mr. Yong Kite, you know him. I think he jammed it in versus the $300 open race for roughly 2.5K with Pocket 8s. Pocket 3s found the overcall. King Jack offsuit found the overcall. And a very easy hold there for Dan.
Sounds like they were all trying to win that €1,600 package. Whichever player wins the most big blinds, guys, over the cash game challenge, streams gets a €1,600 package to Malta.
It was about 5 minutes before the end, so definitely some strategies there involving the package value, I believe.
Bobby, you'll chuck this one in, won't you? There we go.
Brother
There we go.
10.
I was thinking about
And raise blind to 20.
Back to oh, you should have gone 40.
You're one of those guys, Jagger.
Pass
It's actually quite
from
obvious.
seat 8.
There you are.
What do you mean?
Like a not put a 10 on, but demand a 20.
Well, yeah,
We got a couple of pairs here.
Kind of guy.
Sit 1, make it 60.
I only
Pass.
put the. I don't know.
Pass. Pass.
Protest.
It is a bit of a protest, isn't it?
No time
Sit
protest.
5, pass.
Come police.
Aces, please, aces. Oh, damn.
Raise 200.
Definite potential for action here, Manuel.
Yeah, James with a rather small 3-bet here to 60. I mean, we're playing fairly deep. Would like to see a little bit of a bigger size here, but maybe he thought he could do something with the small size behind him. And Henry bites for it, 4-betting the ace-10 of clubs.
And wow, James looking to just get it in pre. Typically, wouldn't see someone 5-bet call 150 big steep at cash, Manny? Would you normally peel with the pocket jacks there facing the 4-bet?
You know me. I'm not gonna pump in 1,500 pounds with pocket jacks. I wanna flop a set.
Yeah, interesting decision, right? Because versus the 4-bet range, when they are potentially 4-bet bluffing, you know, with a hand like ace-10 suited, maybe a hand like ace-queen off, these, and maybe an ace-5 suited in there, something like that, these might be the type of hands that look to 4-bet bluff. But when we 5-bet and get it in against the 6-bet jam, we're going to be in pretty dreadful shape a lot, right?
Yeah, I think without dynamics, you would always push the call button here. But
Sure.
maybe the players know each other, maybe they have some history, maybe there's been some wild ace-5 suited jams, 6-bet jam over 5-bet maybe. I mean, you've seen it all before, so maybe he had something like that in mind.
Absolutely. I know Mr. James, Mr. Jagger, loves the action. Expect to see some fireworks from him.
Have you got enough to reload when I start you?
Me, well, I'll ring my dad,
I already said, man, my dad was first, yeah.
Will your dad take me, yeah?
Huh?
Will your dad take
See
me?
Espen with a tiny lead on the rest of the table. Bunch of players buying in for 1,500.
You're too good.
This is 2, 5, 10 no limit hold'em. And as I have been saying later on, we are hopeful of having an even higher staked cash game. After we take a short break, myself and Manuel will be back covering that until the end of the evening. And then we're back into the MTT streets tomorrow, guys. The 1K high roller, no limit. And then Sunday, main event, final day. I'm pretty pumped to cover the final day. Always exciting in MTTs. And we will crown our champion to conclude our coverage of the festival series from Nottingham. It's been a big week. We're hopeful to finish with a bang.
Yeah, very excited. Also about the high roller, always interesting to see. Expect a rather smaller field in the high roller compared to the main event, of course. So it is a higher buy-in, but it's might be a little bit less pressure anyways. Once you run deep in the main event, the pressure on the final table is just on so much money up top. So looking forward to both streams.
Yep, for sure. James going ahead and going for value here with the King 7. Rob, a non-believer, does flick the call in with just King Queen, having 3-bet pre. James seems to clearly know that he has the best hand. Going for river value. Like this a lot. Not concerned by the third club. Knows that Rob is going to have a bunch of ace high. Bunch of king high like a king queen. Does go ahead and bet around about 2/3 pot river. This would be a very stationary hero call, Manny, if he makes it.
Yeah, I mean, very, very nice that he can see here how he realizes that he's always going to bluff that 3 of clubs. So by having a lot of bluffs in his range, he widens up his value range, gets the 7 in there with a fairly good kicker, and that is one light hero call with a king high.
Very nice play from James. Lots of players will be content to just check river there, Manny, right, and not squeeze out the additional value.
Yeah, I believe so. You should have fairly many straights in your range, fairly many trips. Flushes get there as well. You're gonna have some 9x, and then, well, the 7x. Typically, many players will start to check here because they have so many other value bets. But he knows he's gonna bluff that 3 so hard that he can go for value with a good 7 as well. Very, very nice bet there.
Yeah, very well analysed. I am Andrew Hedley, guys, your main commentator for the week, and the analysis you just heard came from the man himself, Mr. Manuel Zapf. Manny has been here all week with myself and with Mr. Simon Trumper yesterday. It's been great to have you, bud, doing a fantastic job, and Manny will be joining me for the rest of today and tomorrow and Sunday, I believe, and as we approach the business end of this week in Nottingham.
As big as mine. Not as big as yours.
Yeah, very pumped to be here, very excited. In Germany we say, ich hab Bock, which means basically I'm very excited for what's about to happen.
Over it already.
Not gonna lie, sounded to me like you were clearing your throat. Anyway, on we go. James with those nice 2 opening pots. Boosts himself up to 1.8k.
He's the person I need to exhaust.
As you know, Manny, I did live in Germany for a while. Lived in Düsseldorf.
Okay, sure.
And I've seen that funny video about, I don't know if you've ever seen it, where it has all the languages in the world saying many beautiful words in their native tongue. And then it comes to the German one. Not gonna lie. All I can say to you is Krankenwagen.
Yes. But as you know, I'm a German and we don't really watch funny videos. That's not really what we're into, so of course I have not seen it.
I will link it to you, buddy, after the stream. All right, no more of my nonsense. Well, I can't promise that, but you know, for the time being, Stephen with the ace queen flopping to the queens does go for a standard continuation around about a 3rd pot. Jacob does fold, did have a potential shenanigans hand.
Can I have a single, please, sir?
Unfortunately, with no action.
Thank you.
What do you like?
I'm gonna have to link you that video, Manny. It'll change your approach to humor.
You think it can be changed, huh?
I mean, I live in hope, mate. I live in hope.
You look like a GMT kind of guy. You're very well spoken. Yeah. You should like make vlogs or something.
Thanks, man. I'll give it a go, cheers.
I'd watch your vlog.
Thanks.
Some compliments at the table.
Rather 10, this hand from seat number 3.
I heard that. They said you're very well spoken. I was wondering if they were listening to our commentary.
Oh, the cartilage piercing guy, yeah, him. Yeah, he's giving it away.
Raise 30 from
All right,
seat
Bobby
number
in the
8,
cutoff
folded.
does open the action.
Pass, seat 1.
Yeah, might not.
Raise 5 from
Looks
seat
as if
2,
Jacob
seat
does
3
land on
folded,
3-bet
seat
out
7
of
folded
the
as
big
well.
blind. Gets the straddle out of the way, and Bobby, no resistance with the ace-8 off. Nice hand selection for the 3-bet.
It'll be a fun one to watch this.
Yeah, I really like it here, especially out of position. Bring on a big size. Many holdings that are even better than yours are gonna fold. You block a lot of value hands, so very, very nice timing here and very nice sizing from Jacob.
See, this is how we should be learning. We need to be talking to Maxwell more. No more questions.
I'm going to do some Hendon mobbing, Manuel, while you take the next couple of hands. See if we can give the viewers some additional details on our lineup.
We've changed the cards so we'll see more pods.
Do you reckon I could win 1,100 big blinds in this game?
I'll be impressed if you win 100 of them.
Hey, will someone give me 100 to 1? I won't wager that much. 100 to 1 on winning 1,100 big blinds in this game. Would you give me that?
No. It's close, though.
I think the line's probably like 80, but you'd have to be like fully dusting it.
Yeah. What are these called? It's got Red Dead Redemption. These cards are good. Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah, we go into the next couple of hands, everybody.
Trying to
The action started slowly, but we've seen some nice 3-bet spots being picked and worked out. Bobby here with the ace-jack offsuit. Believe he will definitely raise it up, which he does from the hijack. And Jacob definitely with a hand he wants to play here.
Pass.
King 9 suited, another nice 3-bet from the small blind, but I don't think he will get a fold this time. Ace check just a little bit too strong. As he finds the call, oh, he finds the 4-bet to 200, and that will seal the deal. Lots of more 4-betting and 3-betting than yesterday, definitely.
Yeah, I think we've seen more 4-bets in the opening few orbits here than we have through the rest of the week. This table is ready to fire, ready to play. But here the players, they're referencing what odds they would need to be laid to win over 1,000 big blinds. As Manny was saying yesterday, there was the 1,100 big blind winner, Mr. Pong. I just don't see it. I think they all want to go for it, Manny. You can hear it. They're all talking about it. It's going to be difficult to top. I just can't see it happen.
I think everyone wants that to be cheating.
Yeah, we had some interesting approaches to get that number you need. There was the stand-up game yesterday that failed a little bit in the end. Very funny story. One of the guys standing up, the last two standing up, actually went bust and just left the table. So they kind of had to cancel it. Everybody looked, a little bit surprised, if not disgusted, I would have said. But then the straddling started, and that just makes the pots obviously very, very big.
I was going to say I've never had the pleasure to commentate on the stand-up game. What's going on? You know, I'm supposed to be taking the lead, Manny, and you get the stand-up game and I don't. What's going on here?
You just picked the wrong day to be off. You already said it earlier.
I'm calling my agent.
Was it worth it? Was it a good game? 2-2, right?
It was a great game. Although, sadly for myself, I had, as poker players, we like the occasional football accumulator. I had Man United at heavy odds against. Already had 3 selections soar home. And we were 2-1 up and crushing Manuel. Serene progress. And just like what can happen at the poker table, it all came crashing down around my ears. So I was a little bit disappointed, but it was good.
Yeah. Never bet on a parlay bet, right? That's what they say.
You're so German, honestly. Right, back into the action. Interesting flop here for Rob on the button. Does elect to take a free one with his open ender. Adam with the best hand with top pair. With the ace kicker, does now go for value and protection. Pretty small bet. Around about 40% pot. Rob with a very clear call.
Yeah, again, that Queen of Hearts in his hand might give him some options to take it down with a bluff on a hard river. Not happening now. Going to be very interesting to see how big Adam is going to size.
Yeah, Adam knows his hand is best, looking to extract a little value. Would have been interesting to see what happened if he did find the check. Now, shenanigans are afoot though. What kind of hands is Rob credibly repping here, Manny? Pretty thin, right?
Yeah, very thin. Sometimes he could have just turned a set of deuces that slow plays the turn, and maybe a very, very weak king that now goes for value that checked the flop, something like King 9 suited in that area. I think that's about it.
I would agree. Potentially the ace 4 of hearts, 4 6 of hearts. That's about it. 4 6 of hearts maybe not going to be in there too often, but he gets it through. Nicely done from Rob. I guess one of these spots that is relatively under-bluffed, even though he has a pretty thin, as you say, river raise value range, does tend to get quite a lot of credit, I believe. People don't bluff this spot too often. Rob picking it up nicely, timed nicely.
Yeah, quite a few stacks over £1,500, so we could see a potential 3k pot soon. If that happens, then we could have one player at least getting in the right direction to that first prize, and then it's going to be interesting to see if he is going to go for more gamble How would you entertain the table to start straddling once you are up 1.5, 2K? Any tricks up your sleeve there, Andrew?
I mean, I would like to tell you that I just have this majestic back catalogue of skills to be able to sway things even further to my advantage. I'm not going to lie, Manny, I would just continue to play and hope for the best. I don't think I have any majestic... Well, you know me, I like a bit of table talk. But, you know, I think it would be ambitious to think that I could sway them all to my will. But you never know.
Thought you're gonna say you're gonna get out your Tesco value card. And wave it around the table.
I've still never recovered from that, honestly. It's been haunting my dreams, Mr. JJ Hazan. The Tesco value card in Juice Walk. For anyone who didn't see, do we have that clip? Is that clip available somewhere? One of the funniest things I've ever seen at poker.
Yeah, I think I can post the clip into the Twitch chat maybe if the moderators allow me to do it. With links, it's always a problem, but I will try.
That was indeed from our Poker Listings Final Championship table. That was eventually taken down by Colin and JJ Hazan. What can I say? It was a riot, it was entertaining. Anyone who has not seen that clip, I hope we could find a way to get it to you. James Jagger out in front, 1.8k. Espen, Bobby, Rob and Henry and Adam hovering around the 1.3 to 1.5k range. This is, guys, our first Cash Game Challenge stream of the evening. 2, 5, 10, no limit hold'em. Later on, we have an even higher stakes table lined up. As we get towards the end of this first stream, I'll hopefully have confirmation of the lineup for you. Really looking forward to it if it comes off. Could be some massive pots in our final day of Cash table streaming before we head back into the tournament streets over the weekend.
Raise 40, pass.
Very interesting. Rob electing to limp in with the Queen 10 off. Henry ISOing King 6, picking up 2 callers. I feel like that could be an error in the graphics, not sure. Does check around, 3 on the turn. Adam still best, going for value with his top pair. Round about quarter pot. Does take it down. Small pot of £167.
Yeah, definitely mandatory bet there. I don't mind the little bit smaller size, even though typically on the double flush draw board you want to go a little bit bigger, but without really having a kicker here with the 8-6, gonna be tough to find hands to continue against the bigger size, unless somebody has a very good draw. So electing the small size works as well in these spots.
Back into the action we go, and Rob has found the Cowboys under the gun. Does come in for an open to £35. Bad timing here from Henry. Choosing a light 3-bet with the King 5 of Hearts. Now Rob, is this a mandatory 4-bet, Manuel? Do you find some slow plays here, or typically gonna 4-bet kings and aces and perhaps flat some others?
I mean, if we ever want to trap a hand here, I guess it would be pocket aces mainly. Pocket kings wants to do a lot of 4-betting, especially as deep as we are, and especially at a little bit of a wilder clickback table. I believe this is the way to go here. King's strong enough to get it in even this deep.
Yep, absolutely. Just feeling greedy in the booth. I just wanted to see a little call. Walk the dog. Allow the King 5 of Hearts to have the opportunity to barrel, but Rob with the 4-bet does take it down free.
Again, yesterday we've seen so many slow plays with flopped sats, pre-flop slow plays. So again, you took the wrong day off, Andrew.
Oh. Timing is everything, and mine was atrocious. So Adam, ace-5 off, does open his button. Rob with the light defend with 7-5, does flop an open-ended straight draw. Adam,
interesting.
Yep, Adam with the backdoor nut flush draw and an overcard to the board.
Both players having a club in their hand definitely can have an impact on the hand later on. I believe we're either going to see a raise or a call here from Rob.
Awkward spot, Manuel, right? Facing pot.
Yeah, I used to think so as well. Always a little bit scary to play against pot-sized bats, but when you raise, it makes it look even stronger, and you're going to get more folds. So don't think that we should shy away from a check raise just because of a pot-sized bat.
Yep, definitely a board 8 high that's going to have a lot of very large sizing c-bets. And look at this, Adam finds the turnover bet round about 130% pot. Rob really in the blender here. Does let it go. Nicely timed from Adam with the huge overbet. Takes it down using that 5 potential blocker to the big blind having any straights. Takes it down.
Yeah, really a solver overbet spot here on the deuce of hearts. Not changing many. Just a 4 or 5 arriving for the straight, but him having a 5 in that hand, that shouldn't matter too much. So he finds that overbet really nice.
Yeah, very well played.
I've not seen him in a long time. Great guy. Yeah. Lovely person.
Race 20.
Yeah, very nice guy. He's play a lot.
Plus.
This is amazing. I'm saying, what do you think the odds are of someone actually winning 5.5 games today? 80?
Bobby taking it down here with a king queen, it looks like.
Yep, simple raise and take it for Bobby. For anyone just joining us, welcome guys. This is the Festival Series coming to you on a 30-minute delay from Dusk till Dawn card room here in Nottingham. This is 2-5-10 no limit hold'em, our first cash game challenge stream of the night. One more to follow later. We are, as I said, at DTD, where it's time to update you about some upcoming events. We have the World Series of Poker circuit events at DTD next month. There is an £1,100 500k main event. Should be a very large prize pool. And as we have said a few times this week, DTD is throwing a lot of money and promotion behind boosting our live stream setup here at DTD. I've been privileged to see some of the plans, seen the huge plasma screen that has been installed. It is going to be huge. And Manuel, I know he loves this, one of his favorite poker players, one of his poker heroes, Mr. Phil Hellmuth, is coming to Dusk till Dawn in April to play in a high stakes cash game. So that's going to be fun. Keep an eye on our social media in due course. I'm sure it will be getting promoted heavily. But the poker brat is coming to Nottingham, to Dusk Till Dawn, one of the premier venues of European poker. Manuel, the poker brat. I know you love him. You're excited to see that stream, right?
Oh, I will definitely watch it. You just said one of my poker heroes. I would even say the poker hero for me. I hope we're gonna see some drama.
Raise 30. Pass.
I mean, there's always drama when it comes to Helmuth, right?
Full pass.
Every day. I reckon. I reckon when he greets the postman in the morning, he starts to berate him for his slow delivery of the letters,
140.
or perhaps when he goes down to the butcher, he berates him for the way that he chopped up the chicken. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. Having a tantrum at the dentist's and being forced to be told to be quiet and open wide.
Haven't you read the book? He's only like that at the poker table. I hope. The book hashtag positivity.
Is that right? Go on.
That's his book, yes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Hashtag positivity, eh?
Rather than.
You know what? I'm only messing here on our live stream. I actually had the privilege to meet him a couple of times in real life, and he really is a lovely man.
Yeah, what a character he is. Really good for entertainment. I mean, this is just what we need. A little bit of old school, but also the class, but also the drama, and the titles. He has so many of them, so can only be good for the game. Make poker great again.
For sure. Now, James, can you make poker great again with the 7-2 game on? Yes, you can. Here he comes. The guys, they are playing the 7 deuce game. We could get fireworks here. Give us the firework flop. Not particularly there with the king 8.
There is
Can
one
James
heart.
find it? Can he find it?
Bet 60.
Nice and cheap for you, Jagger. That is nice and cheap. I do like cheap.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna have to give this one a
It's a great fold. Great fold, James.
cracker.
Is gonna let it go. Never a great sign, Manny, is it, when the player starts laughing? It's hard to bluff in such conditions.
I'm still waiting for the one to do that as a bluff.
King's played.
Giving up the hand, laughing, and then saying raise.
I do have a lifetime ambition, Manny. You know how whenever in the history of poker somebody stands up and puts their jacket on, they have never in the history of poker not had the nuts or not had pocket aces in some World Series event. It is my lifetime ambition on day 5 of a major event to bluff shove all in and then stand up and put the coat on and pack up your stuff.
And then getting called, yes. And,
Get called and just walk away.
and telling yourself right before you go to sleep, it was a good play, Andrew. It was okay.
Yeah, but
You
no
did
one,
well.
come on, nobody has ever bluffed like that, right? Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen someone not have the
Raise
nuts?
30.
No, I haven't.
I'm telling you, one of us has to do it, mate. It's got to be some kind of side bet.
Pass.
Anyway, enough of my inane ramblings. Back into the action. Stephen with ace king suited. Adam does complete with the 8-9 off.
Check.
A little something for both with gut shots. Stephen to Broadway and Adam with the 8-9.
Alright.
Does have a backdoor flush draw working for him.
It's on the line, mate. And
Action card would obviously be the 10 here.
Do you reckon anyone's gonna win 100 bigs in this game?
Just a short delay here on the flop.
see
Anyone gonna win a monkey today?
Believe the dealer is just relaying the cards to our technical team. Do have a C bet of £20 from Stephen.
check.
I'd quit now.
Adam does check call.
I would if I was you.
Stephen turns him dead with the ace of
Like
spades.
Henry's gonna 3-bet in. So aggressive.
Is going to go for turn value.
80. Pass.
And Adam with just the 9 high has to let it go.
Finchy in the chat.
Sorry, mate.
Ah.
Carry on.
Liv Finchy in the chat says, surely they shouldn't have their phones? Question mark. Well, we are on a 30-minute delay, so whatever information they get, it will not be affecting the running hand, so don't worry about that.
We have had a few scandals, haven't we, over the years in poker with devices and the like. What's your thoughts on that, Manny? Should players have to give their phones up before they play? Do you think it's fine? Do you think it would discourage too many people from not wanting to come and play if they couldn't have their phone to keep entertained? It's interesting because obviously we have seen a few scandals over the years of people potentially hacking card systems and the like. Do you think it's just it's not feasible to try and tell people to ditch their phone before they come?
I mean, we've had a few scandals in the poker world as well as in the chess world, with devices even being brought to events inside the body. So I think taking away the phones in these days won't stop anyone.
I love how delicately you just put that, Manuel. Devices brought inside the body. In Scotland, we would describe that in a very different way. Anyway, on we go. George of all trades, let's go Picasso. Hello, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Guys, I am Andrew Hedley, also known as Picasso occasionally to those close to me and people who know me in the poker world. Joined in the booth by Mr. Manuel Zapf, Mr. Neverfold Queen 5. Manny is with me tonight for this Cash Game Challenge session and the one later on this evening. And he will be with me tomorrow and Sunday as we come towards the end of our coverage this week at the Festival Series. Manny, do you have any plans moving forward? I know you were thinking of getting back into the streaming streets. Tell us what your plans are and where people can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on www.twitch.tv/neverfoldqueen5, and I will be back in the streaming streets at some point. But let's first finish up this week and then maybe take a little moment to relax on Monday and gather my thoughts, because there's so much action here, I can't think about my own projects.
It's been intense, I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's my hangover, maybe it's not. I think it's, let's go ahead and say it's the intensity of the week's action.
Yeah, it was really exciting to see the tournament on Wednesday, and really looking forward to tomorrow and Sunday. I think it will be great entertainment, lots of pressure, lots of money up top. I can't wait. Ich hab Bock.
Oh dear. I'm going to send Manny off to get himself a strepsil or a lozenge of some kind. That's twice now. He has cleared his throat. Ich hab Bock, he says. So what's that? I can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm very excited for it. If you really want something to happen.
Nice. So guys, Espen out front, 1.7k. This is 2-5-10, no limit. We haven't had any big clashes yet. Lots of 3-betting and 4-betting. Not too many big pots post.
I think with the way this table is played out so far, if we get some sort of setup, this can get in fairly quick. The players might know from the 30-minute delay as well that there's some 4-bet bluffing going on. Maybe some 5-betting with some rather mediocre value hands like pocket jacks. So if we have a setup here, it's going in.
Jacob waking up with the pocket kings. Does 3-bet Henry's original Queen 7 suited open. That does take it down pre-flop.
Raise 30. Re-raise
Sword Gold in the chat. Well, they can see on Twitch what the other players had 30 minutes ago. Yes, they have their phones, so I believe they can watch the stream and look at the whole cards from 30 minutes ago. But everybody is theoretically allowed to do that. I mean, even if they couldn't open the Twitch chat, there are probably some friends watching who can give them the information. So yeah, but it's fair for everybody the same. It's just with these live streams, one thing you just have to live with, because the other option is just to really isolate all the players from the outside world for the entire 2 hours. And I agree that this goes maybe a little bit too far, so I like the way that they handled it. 30 minutes delay, all information out to everybody.
You know, we're all slaves to our phones now, Manuel. All checking it every 2 minutes. Too many notifications, too many options. It's tough. I have been guilty myself many times of being far too addicted to my phone.
Yeah, definitely. You haven't ridden me in the last 14 minutes, Andrew.
Let's see if Jacob can write himself into the history books with this hand. In fact, Henry, my apologies, with the cold 4, with the mystery hand, does make it 200. And does take it down pre. I was hoping for the 7 deuce. Does just take it down pre-flop. So as we have been referencing, guys, through the week, this is the Festival Series Cash Game Challenge. With the incentive for the players, whoever wins the largest number of big blinds across all of the challenge streams does win a €1,600 package to Malta. They have a target of 1,106 big blinds to beat, I believe. It's going to be very difficult to do. The winner of that does receive a €1,600 package to the Malta Festival Series coming up in May. And the schedule has just been released. Check it out at thefestival.com. We've got the €250 Poker Listings Championship, an €1,100 PLO High Roller, our €550 main event, a bunch of roulette and blackjack tournaments, even have some horse, €1,100 High Roller, the Hendon Mob Championship 250, Texas Mystery Bounty 250, €1,100 OFC High Roller. It's going to be heaps and heaps of action. So that is from the 14th to the 21st of May at Porto Masso Casino in Malta. And now, Bobby, top 2. James going to be in some real trouble here. Wow, does find the just call, Bobby, against Espen's lead out. James going to be in some real trouble here. Bobby's slow play is going to induce action.
Yeah, very, very interesting here to see the worst hand bet with the king queen. That makes it very interesting. Now it's definitely on Bobby. He can probably go either way, but on this board I probably would even prefer a raise. They're so deep. We have the best hand mostly all of the time, blocking 10s and 8s. So I believe he's gonna go a New York back raise this one, and he does.
Yeah, very interesting. The king queen causing a little bit of a car crash here so far for James. Our hand is so strong though, Manuel, right? Very difficult to fold flop on this very draw heavy board. Pure blank turn.
Yeah, I mean, the aces are obviously very, very strong here. I'm not sure if it was a single raise pot or a 3-bet pot, but I believe it was single raise.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, you know what they say, never go broke with one pair in single raise pots, but this one might be a call.
Bobby has sent it all in on the turn, it looks like, for around about 1.2k, 150% pot. Really tough spot for James, and I think he has called it off.
Gonna need a 3-5 or an ace here.
And it is our first £3,000 hand of the night. The river is the 4 of clubs. No good for James. Very difficult spot. And Bobby picking up the first big pot of the evening. Good for £3,000. Very tough spot there, Manuel, half for aces. Not holding a club. Awkward, awkward, awkward.
Definitely very awkward spot. On a very draw-heavy flop as well. Many straight and flush draw combos potentially in the range. You need to think about if Bobby ever plays them call to a bet and then decides to raise over a raise behind him. Not sure if that's the case, but we have pocket aces, so if Bobby ever overvalues a one-pair hand here or plays a draw like that, it's going to be really tough to let go of the aces.
Yeah, I would agree for sure. Tough spot for James. I believe he is going to rebuy.
Yeah, James very tough yesterday, losing as well on the stream. He has been really, really unlucky and on an unfortunate wrong side of the cooler once again.
James, a very experienced cash game player. Don't expect it to affect him too much. Nice pickup for Bobby with the top two pair.
Starter 10, raise blind 20 from C1.
Like 3.2 or something.
David took the cutting card.
59.
And definitely very big pot here. That's what we were looking for. Of course, very unfortunate for James, but with that big pot, Bobby coming closer to first place. He will need a few more of those to actually get to the over 1,100 big blinds. Won by Dan Hong yesterday, who is in first place in the leaderboard for that added package to Malta worth 1,600 euros.
Yeah, it was 20 from C1. And now C4 made it 130. Pass, pass.
And it looks like the straddling begins. We have a straddle to 20, it looks like, from James. So as we come closer to the half time of this cash game stream, we see a little bit more action and more straddles, so we can expect more big pots. Steven here waking up with the queens.
Check.
You can see already 300 pounds in the middle, so this is going to get a much bigger game. The later the evening is, the bigger the pots. Taking it down here with a fairly easy c-bet. King 9 not electing to check raise with an overcard. The backdoor straight draw and the backdoor flush draw, respecting the strong pre-flop range of Steven.
Yeah, we do love to see the straddle. Always results in some big pots. I feel like now that we've warmed up, Manuel, it's about to kick up a notch. We are about 1 hour into our coverage. Round about an hour left to go, guys, of this first stream. Now that the straddles are getting bigger, pots should follow. Spike D, hello all you beautiful people. Hello yourself, Spike.
Raise 105.
Thank you for joining us, guys, in the chat, as always, on both Twitch and YouTube. If you have any questions or want to interact with myself or Manuel whatsoever, please do. Love the energy. We love the chat. Anytime you want to get in the mix, do. Now, Espen, feeling funky, betting the 9 deuce. Thought they were only playing the 7 deuce game, Manuel, but you never know.
Oh,
Maybe they
I was
expanded.
about to ask. Is the 9 deuce game on?
Maybe they expanded the range to Nine deuce also does outflop Rob. Middle pair for Espen. Very dynamic board. Be intrigued to see if he goes for a bit of pot control or if he does c-bet. Looks as if Espen is going to c-bet the flop. Around about 1/3 pot. Rob, not typically with a hand that is going to want to continue, would expect a fold, and indeed he does. The 9 deuce game, he does show it. And it is 9 deuce and not 7 deuce.
He wanted to let everybody know that he was value betting the flop. To get more credit along this night. UB Poker asking, is the highest VPP is 17%? No, it is not. The chip counts, as you can see, Bobby having 27% of the entire chips at the table. I think the VPIP we will see every once in a while as well. I expect that to be much higher though, since we've seen quite some action.
Yes, indeed. Sorgold says, so the winner is the one who gets the most BB during the series. Does that go for any level, or is it one winner per level of the game? Basically, throughout the week, we have had a number of cash game challenge streams. They all last for around about 2 hours. And at the end of each stream, each player's stack is counted, and they will post the number of big blinds that they won during that session. Then this will compare to all of the other sessions across the week. And one person will win that package, whichever person wins the highest number of big blinds. I explained that properly, Sorgold, because I'm not doing it again.
Well, I understood it, and that usually means everybody else will as well.
Listen, if a German can understand the Scotsman, then there's hope for us all. All right, Bobby taking it down with the Queen 10 of Hearts. Out in front, 3.1k after winning that big pot with the 10-8 of spades against Mr. James Jagger's pocket aces. Stephen, with a very interesting 5-6 of diamonds under the gun, does elect to open the action. Espen folding king-queen. Disciplined fold, early position at the table, don't hate it at all with the full ring behind. Adam coming along with the same hand as Stephen, the 5-6 suited, calls the button. It looks as if Jacob folds Jack-8 of diamonds and Rob completes with the 3-5 of clubs. 3 baby flush draws. Going to be tough for them all to hit this board, Manny.
Yeah, this is another case of whoever is the most aggressive will win this pot. I mean, Adam flopped a piece of it, so he is probably going to be the one most likely to be aggressive here.
Very interesting turn card. Stephen and Adam now both with the open-ended straight draw. Very dynamic board though. Paired board. Does check through to Adam again. He elects to stab and takes it down with the 5-6 of spades.
Swordgold saying it, so the smartest is to play on the lowest level. Well, you would think so, but sometimes on the lower levels you can't generate too much action, people being a little bit scared to straddle. Typically, the higher the level, the more action the players want to have, so might not always be the case.
Yeah, very true. Is one of our favorite facets of the festival series is our cash game challenge. The added €1,600 package in value normally causes some craziness. Not untypical to get multi-way all-ins, especially towards the end of streams if players are within range of having the most number of bigs won across the week. Mr. Dan Hong yesterday posting a 1,106 big blind profit. I believe you won over £5,000, Manuel, playing 2-5.
Yeah, it was £5,500, and that's exactly the example that shows sometimes you want to play the 2-5-10 game instead of the 1-2 game. Because at the 2-5-10 game, we had a straddle to 20, we had a straddle to 40, and we had a straddle to 80. That's a lot of big blinds being in the flop before anybody has seen their whole cards.
Yes, indeed. A little piece for both players here. Henry flopping middle pair. Rob with an overcard and the gut shot on the flop. 10 of clubs on the turn.
Bet is 25. Call.
Rob beginning to bluff here with his queen 5 of diamonds. Henry not going anywhere with his third pair. Good river for Henry. Be interesting to see if Rob does try and fire again. Not the greatest river card for him, Manuel, when the 10 pairs the board to continue to bluff. But he does go for it.
Yeah, at least he's not having any 9 or jack in his hand, so still some potential easy folds. Maybe attacking some 4-5, 4-6, 7-6 type of hands. King 7 is a really tough call to make, but I think we might just be high up in our range, just enough to make that call.
Yeah, it does look as if he's going to flick it in. No, he does make the fold, so nicely played, Rob. Seen a few well-played bluffs from Rob already. He had that Queen Jack on the river, on the King 10 XXX board, where he managed to get Ace 10 to fold river. And again, gets the better hand to fold. Well played, Rob.
Yeah, he picked quite a few bluff spots there that are not very typical to pick. Maybe he does that because he knows these spots are not getting bluffed and therefore he's not getting called very often. So very good analysis there by him, and he shows it on the felt. He's here to bluff.
Yeah, very well played. As we say, if you win the pot, Manuel, it's a good bluff.
Who says that?
I don't know, me, to make myself feel better when I punt it. Anyway, Bobby will be feeling very happy. He has doubled up his stack already and now wakes up with Ace King of Hearts. Opening up the action under the gun 1. Surely Stephen did not fold Ace 10 of clubs in the big blind. I might turn off the stream.
He knew the 9-7 offsuit 3-bet was coming.
Yeah,
so
Espen's here to play, huh? 3 bets with the 9-7. Wow, Bobby just sends it. Just sticks it in. That's interesting.
yeah, if the stats are right, I mean, for 1,800 or 1,600 effective, you don't really want to jam it just in here with Ace King suited. Definitely good enough to 4-bet, I do agree, but once you jam, you're never going to get called by Ace Queen, so not really going to turn out in your favor long term, I believe.
Yeah, interesting to see him just rifle it in. Perhaps he did see Espen show the 9 deuce off. Not impossible that the chip stacks could be slightly off. That does seem like a lot of big blinds just to ship. Anyway, Bobby back in the mix with the pocket 7s. Under the gun. Adam with a light 3-bet under the gun 1. Stephen with the 10s. Just lets it go.
So Stephen just folded Ace 10 clubs and now pocket 10s. There might either be something up or is he up? Does he want to secure his winnings?
I could see folding 10s here against under the gun and +1 3-bet if we're ever going to fold them, right?
It's early positions. I do agree. I've made these folds before as well. Just doesn't strike me as a game where we can make these folds.
Sure. Now Bobby does flop middle set on the flop. But it is a 4 flush board. Interesting spot now. Adam, as the pre-flop 3-better, does continue to take his perceived showdown. The 5th club does complete the board.
Bet is 80.
Interesting choice of sizing from Bobby here. Does bet around about 40% on the river. See if Adam can sniff this out. Typically, if Bobby has a high club that wants to value bet, I believe he'll choose a larger sizing than this, Manuel.
Yeah, I would believe so too. The only really good value hand that this could be might be the ace of clubs, trying to induce some bluffs, mixing in some weaker clubs into that range and some bluffs as well. I believe a king or another high flush would definitely choose a bigger sizing here.
Yeah, I think so too, especially in a check down pot, but it does get the job done. And Bobby, crushing it so far, is the big winner thus far on the stream. Guys, I am Andrew Hedley, joined in the booth by Mr. Manuel Zapf. We are your commentators this week at the Festival Series, coming to you on a 30-minute delay from dusk till dawn in Nottingham. This is our final day of cash game action. We have around about 40 minutes or so, I believe, left of this first stream. And one more higher stakes stream coming up later this evening. I'll be confirming the lineup for you. We're very hopeful it's going to play very big. And then over the weekend, we're back into the tournament streets. 1K High Roller tomorrow and our flagship 200K main, which is on Sunday, has already broken the guarantee. And there is one more turbo flight still to come tonight. So we're excited to commentate on it. And Sunday night, we'll be crowning our champion. Myself and Manny will be in the booth.
It will be on Sunday night. The main event final table and the straddle game here is on as well. We've just seen another hand being straddled to 40. So as we come closer to the end of this session, the straddle will get bigger, I believe. People are not scared to put the money in blind.
You'll love to see it. Let's go, boys. We want some massive pots as we come up to the end of this first stream. Guys, if you want to check out anything that is happening at Dusk Till Dawn, please check out our social medias at DTD Club and at DTD Live on Twitter and Instagram. And you can check out at the Festival OG for the Festival Series socials on those same two platforms.
Yeah, Sword Gold asking, can you rebuy in the cash game as much as you want? I believe the maximum here is £1,500, as it was yesterday as well for these stakes. Equivalent of 300 big blinds, and I think that is what you can top on. Yeah, another straddle here to 20 by James. He really wants to get involved after that disappointing cooler with the pocket aces. Aspen with the typically small c-bet on the paired board. Really love the sizing. Value betting his ace-queen here. Definitely going to get quite some folds from worse hands. Turning fairly strong with the queen of clubs. Two pair with the ace kicker. James now adding a gut shot to his hand.
Yes.
It'll be very tough though to continue here.
Yeah, unfortunate for James. Things not really going his way so far. Took one off there with the 8-9, trying to float. But not a run out that he is going to be able to bluff and pick up the pot.
And there we have the V-pips being asked for in chat. There you see it around the 30%. Everybody, a few players a little bit tighter. Steven there with 12%, but the rest of them over 20.
I was hearing through the grapevine, Manuel, that your VPIP often hovers in the 4 to 8% range. Can you confirm or deny?
That only happens when I play heads up against you.
All right, Henry on the button does isolate the limp in from Rob with the 9-10 off. James with the flavor of the month. Everybody loves ace-5 suited in 2023. Nice timing, picks it up. Small pot. It's around about a year ago, Manuel, right? Everyone just started going insane with ace-5 suited. No matter what. whichever position at the table you were at, as many big blinds as you want. All in, baby.
I thought that was like 10 years ago.
Well,
I thought it's the.
you know I'm
I thought
slow. You know I'm slow to pick up on the current trends.
I thought that the King Jack suited is the new Ace 5.
Ah, jeez, I got to get back to the study streets. Less red wine, less Europa League football, more studying. Ah, life's so boring, isn't it? Unbelievable.
It's not boring when you 5-bet shove the King Jack.
Not sure I've ever had that in my locker. The old 5-bet rifle, the King Jack.
Straddle is on seat 2. Made it 20. Everyone folded until seat 1. Seat 1 made it 100.
Yeah, another straddle pot here. You love to see it. The action is really picking up.
Seat 3, call. We have a heads up. Bet 65.
Look at the open raise size from James here with the 5x coming in with €100. Think that could have anything to do with the fact that he's down, trying to play some big pots, win some money back?
Yeah, definitely. Jay, you can just see it. He's ready to go, mate. He's ready to play. I also saw him get delivered a very large pint of beer. It's gonna give him some fuel to try and recoup some of those losses from the aces versus top 2 cooler. James, very experienced cash game player. I'm sure it's not going to affect him too much.
Every time I'm going to visit the Dusk Till Dawn now, I'm going to ask for a very large pint of beer. I love them when they're really big. In Germany, you only get big beers. The leader, you know.
Oh, I know. Having spent a lot of time there in the past, I'm more than aware. But you're going to have to refresh my memory. When I lived in Dusseldorf, I believe that there was like a battle between the beers. And there's one was in Dusseldorf, and it's the pale beer, I think. And then up the road, I'm really sorry, I've forgotten where it is. But one was a dark beer and one was pale. And they fought over which was the better beer. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, in Düsseldorf they have the Alt beer, and in Cologne, the rival city, they have the Kölsch. And yes. It goes this far, like once you live in Cologne and somebody sees you drinking the wrong beer, you will get into trouble.
Really? What would I do without you, Manuel? Keeping us up to date on the social trends. All right, back into the action we go. Adam gonna have a very clear open in the cutoff with ace-8 of spades. No straddle this hand. Rob does just call with the 7-8 of diamonds. King 5 deuce with 2 diamonds. Rob does flop the 8 high flush draw.
Very interesting here if the 8-7 is going to check raise against the c-bet or if it's just going to check call. Typically you want some flush draws in your range. How would you check raise here? Would you use that 8-7 or rather some flush draws surrounding that 5 even a little bit more?
Yeah, I think it's always nice to have a potential backdoor straight draw to go with some of these flop check raises. Yeah, I like it here. I mean, typically also Adam in late position, his range is going to be pretty wide. He's going to have a lot of mandatory c-bets on a board like King 5 deuce. You know, a bunch of just his whatever, 9-10, Queen Jacks, Ace-8, as we saw, whatever it may be. And we can take control of the pot. And obviously having backdoor equity surrounding that 5 seems a pretty good candidate to check raise to me. And yeah, well executed by Rob. And he takes it down. He's been on point with most of the post-flop spots that he's been in so far today.
Yeah, picking very interesting spots and then also not leaving out the clear spots. So His red line should look just fine tonight.
Yep, playing very well. Henry, queen 4 off. Oh, it's a straddle, right? I was about to say I don't believe he would open this.
I think the straddle is on now.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Jacob does raise to £50 with the 5-4 of clubs. Henry does defend. Jack 9-10 with 2 spades. Not a great flop texture for Jacob to continue the aggression, but he is going to go for it. Comes with the round around about third pot. Interesting spot for Henry here, Manuel. Gonna mix between call and some raises, I would imagine.
Yeah, obviously the queen of spades, making it a little bit sexier to put in that check raise. I really like Jacob c-bet here on this board. He should still have the range advantage. And that turn is all Henry.
Yeah, turns the queen high straight. Does indeed have a gut shot to the straight flush. Looks like Jacob is going to be waving the white flag.
Yeah, interesting give up here because this is basically the worst hand he could ever have, I believe, on this texture. Don't think he would be open raising 4-3 suited all the times, maybe sometimes, but he's very close to the bottom of his range. Guess we're going to get to see a small value bet from Henry here, typically on the 4-card straight board. Not too many big sizes, and Jacob with a very easy fold.
Yep, very well analysed, Mr. Zapf.
You know it. The name is Manuel. I'm playing very well.
How long have you had that one in the locker, my friend? That is indeed the voice of Manuel Zapf, guys. My co-pilot for the week. I'm Andrew Hedley, your commentator here at the Festival Series. We're at Dusk Till Dawn in Nottingham on a 30-minute delay. This is 2, 5, £10 no limit hold'em. We have around about 30 minutes left of our opening stream. Then myself and Manny will go and get something to eat, relax a little bit, then come back for our higher stakes stream later this evening. I'm just waiting for confirmation of the lineup, and I will hopefully bring it to you before we go away for our break. But we are hopeful that tonight is going to be very, very big stakes in action. And that'll be our last cash game stream of the week before we go back into the tournament streets over the weekend. Adam does open with the ace-9 of spades. Bobby calls out of the straddle with the 7-8 offsuit. Ace, King, 3, rainbow. Would expect a small c-bet here from Adam, and Bobby likely just going to ditch it. Interesting, Adam going for a little deception. Don't mind it at all. Does turn the nut flush draw. Bobby not going to fall for the trap. Just going to check for the turn.
What do you mean play? So somebody gives you 5 million to play? No. You're just playing for 5 million. You just play heads up for 5 million.
A very good level of poker we've seen here today, and quite some big pots as well. Even though it's gonna get like really tough. You need so many big pots to get to that first place. Just shows you what a huge pot that was that Daniel Hong won yesterday. Gonna be very tough for any player to catch him.
What's really your edge? Like, you're gonna win him. You're gonna beat him like what, like 65% of the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably worth like 3 mil. So you got to take.
Yeah, I would say 3 plus.
I would say 3 mil. Yeah.
Take 3 mil.
You're probably worth 3 mil in the game.
So we let you listen in to the table talk. All the players in good spirits. Rob with the open with the Queen 10 to £30. Could be some action here. Espen is going for a 3-bet from the small blind. And Henry waking up with a monster behind Ace King. Would expect a cold 4-bet. We have already seen Espen 3-betting hands such as the mighty 9 deuce. Does make it £300. Very nice sizing here, Manuel, in position on the small blind. No need to go too big.
Yeah, lovely sizing. It's going to be very interesting to see how Aspen reacts to that, because he knows as well he has been showing the 9 deuce, so he might feel a little bit scared that people are going to come after his wide range with 4-bets, but he does find the laydown here.
Yeah, one of the problems, right, if you are 3-betting some junk and showing it down, and then you do get one of these mid to strong hands that you have to 3-bet, can be awkward. You might get in your own head and level yourself that people are going to come after you later, right?
Yeah, I always level myself in these situations. Once I've shown a bluff or even a loose 3-bet, and I feel that everybody knows that, I feel like I have to call down more, and I mostly fail in these spots.
Hey, at
People
least
still have
you're
it
honest about it, buddy.
Yeah. What can I do?
Oh, it's one of those things I hate in modern poker. You say, oh, I have to defend this part of my range. No, you don't. Get it in the muck. It's all good. Nobody's gonna know. Although when you're on a live stream, absolutely everybody's gonna know. But you know, never mind.
I'm gonna be very hopeful for the second stream that we're gonna see the donkey again. I haven't seen him yesterday.
Donkey Watch. Just to tell the chat the story, we had a player on one of our streams earlier in the week who did indeed have a little toy stuffed donkey. Him and his friends have all come to Nottingham for the week, and whichever player played the worst hand of the week was forced to take the stuffed donkey to the table with them the next day as a badge of dishonor, I guess. But he ended up crushing, right, with the donkey. So, I don't know, we loved it. And yeah, I hope we get to see it again before the week is out.
Yeah, really hoping for that. Was a very, very cute donkey, and he brought some good luck, definitely.
I'm still committed to doing my Shrek donkey impression before the week is out. No one can stop me. James, nobody can stop you, my friend. You have flop trip 7s, king 7-7. Pretty large pot. Bobby looks as if he is done with this one, though. Bobby out in front, 3.2k. James, Espen, Henry, and Adam all hovering around the 1.4 to 1.7k mark. Bunch of money on the table. We have around about 30 minutes left, guys, of this first stream. Hopefully, bring you some wild action before the evening's session. That will be kicking off in around about an hour and a half's time after myself and Manuel take a break. I'll bring you the lineup for that big high stakes cash. Yeah.
Gonna be very exciting. I'm waiting for it, hoping to see some really huge pots. Gonna be very interesting to see if the straddling continues on the higher stakes as well. Then the game will play even bigger. So lots to look out for.
Absolutely, Manuel. And yes, I am just being informed we have around about 26 minutes to go. We cannot be accused of not being precise here in the booth. So, open from Henry, the ace-king. James calling in a dominated spot with the king 6 of spades. Ace, jack, 8, rainbow. Henry does come with a large sizing on the flop, fortunately for him. James, with just the king high and backdoors, not strong enough to continue against the large size.
He just wants to charge any kind of draws out there. The board is typically a lot better for him, of course. A lot of more two pairs, obviously, set advantage, and more good top pairs. So, yeah, going with the rage advantage, choosing the big size here, which is very typical for this board. Unfortunate for him that he doesn't find a hand that can call.
Yeah, it hasn't quite gone James's way thus far. Whenever he has had a big value hand, his opponents have not had a lot, and he did indeed get stacked with the pocket aces in our biggest pot of the night against Bobby's top two pair. Has around about 25 minutes to try and get back on song. It's all Bobby today. Does find the kings. Now, James, can you resist the ace-5 of clubs?
There it is again.
I don't believe he will resist it. There it is, 4-bet to £270. Now, Manuel, can Bobby find a slow play? He does.
I mean, if Bobby can win a big pot here, then he is getting closer to the leaderboard first place,
wow.
and that's an amazing flop for him.
Does flop the very disguised top set of kings. Danger Will Robinson for Mr. Jagger. Does come with c-bet.
Very good size here, quarter, and I love that Bobby just snap calls. Typically, players don't do that with top set, taking a little bit of time, so could be interesting. Picking up a gut shot here, James.
Yeah, Bobby very comfortable on the flop, especially holding the king of spades. Would expect him to start going for value here.
Yeah, I think the slow plays here are going to be mainly flushes. Don't think that we ever want to check a set.
Yeah, I would agree. We'll have been hoping that James has a hand like aces, potentially with no spade. A hand like ace-queen with a spade. It's going to be very difficult, as we can see, though, for Bobby to get action. Bit of an action killer turn. Although, as we saw, James with just the ace-5 of clubs may have given up on a bunch of runouts anyway. Is going to let it go, and another big scoop for Bobby, taking him up closer to around about the 4K mark.
Gonna be tough here if James pulls the trigger. This board connecting, obviously, great with both ranges in a 4-bet pot. Gonna be really hard to find any hands that Bobby's gonna bet fold here. And I believe could be something like an ace-queen, sometimes ace-king type of hands. Then having the ace of clubs in our hand doesn't make really better situation out of it. So like the give up here. Sad to see another little loss for James. He has been really unlucky, but I think he played that hand very well.
Yeah, sometimes you do just run into it. So last 20 minutes or so, guys, of our first stream, 2-5-10 no limit. Adam with the open on the button with the 9-10 off. No action behind. Guys, this is the Festival Series coming to you from Dusk till Dawn in Nottingham. If you want to check out anything Festival Series related, please go to thefestival.com. As I was saying earlier, the schedule for the Festival Series in Malta from the 14th to the 21st of May has just been released. Please check out thefestival.com for all of the information about qualifiers, scheduling, dates. It's all there for you. If you want to check out our social media for Dusk till Dawn, see what's going on at the club, at DTD Club, at DTD Live on Twitter and Instagram, and at the Festival OG for the Festival Series socials.
Henry and Jacob involved in a pot here. I believe it was straddled and raised to 80. Jacob flopping the top pair. Not very likely to get any action from Henry. Taking down this small pot, but it's already at 200 pounds. So even the smaller pots now, with the straddle being on, just the single raise pots, get quick. They get quickly bigger than you'd expect for this 2-5 game. So I think we can expect, hopefully, some fireworks for the last minutes of the stream.
Yeah, everybody in good spirits. All of the players are aware that whoever wins the highest number of big blinds across this week, across all of the Cash Game Challenge streams combined, does win a €1,600 package to that Malta Festival series. So typically in the last 20 minutes, we do get a lot of action. Hopefully, today will be no exception. James must have been following Espen's game, Manuel, opening the 9 suited. Rob in there with pocket 7s, and Espen completing out the big. Espen does flop best. Top pair, round to James. Does have some interesting barrel potential if he elects to c-bet. He does, chooses the real large size. Just a shade over pot. Really going to put Rob's hand in a tough spot.
I believe once you get yourself into the spot with 9 deuce suited, I guess that's a board you always kind of want to bet.
Once you get yourself into this sticky situation.
Now you're just hoping for that equity on the turn. Ah, wow, we see a raise here from Espen.
That's interesting. You wouldn't expect to see too many raises.
I think the value raises are very clear here. It's the 2 pairs of obviously the sets, if you have any, and then we go with our best 10x, 10-9, being a little bit in the middling region there. Of course, on a 10 high board, you are looking to protect versus some overcards coming on the turn. So I don't mind the raise here. Wouldn't have picked the 10-9 though.
I would agree completely. Typically, I would use ace 10 and king 10 for the majority of my 10x raises. Use most of the others as calls. And yeah, maybe the occasional open-ender. Something like this as a check raise. But yeah, works out nicely for Espen. Bobby with the 10s. Does open. Jacob looks as if he is going to 3-bet with the ace-jack. Excuse me, Bobby is in the straddle. We are going to get fireworks here. Jacob with the open to £50. Espen, who we have seen very active with 3-bets. Bobby's going to be in a very awkward spot here, Manuel.
They're still fairly deep. I guess we're always going to see a 4-bet here. It's going to be very interesting how he's going to react once he gets that 5-bet jam, because 10s is like right around the corner, especially in an aggressive game. And this has been playing out aggressive. He might find the call.
Wow, I think he shipped it. He did just pile the 10s, and he is going to get the bad news. Did expect him just to 4-bet. Espen with a very easy snap call. You would expect. And Bobby, first misstep of the evening.
I think that's just a little bit too much.
Does flop some backdoor equity. Not on that turn. Espen is going to double up if you can fade a 10. Which he does. Little bit of a cooler, but yeah, surprised to just see Bobby launch it for a...
Yeah, sometimes the graphics can be wrong. If any of the players was a little bit shorter, it makes a lot more sense, obviously. That could be the case. If that wasn't, I would like to see him 4-bet here and then make a decision once he faces that 5-bet jam. But he just decided to jam it. Maybe the aggressive style of the opponents playing a role here, that we can jam a little bit more big blinds than we would do usually.
Yep, absolutely. Espen did show down a number of junky 3-bet hands, and hey, perhaps it worked to perfection. Manuel setting up that aggro image does double up to around about £3,500. And first chink in the armor for Bobby.
Yeah, definitely had quite some winnings here at the table. Now should be still in the winning region, but yeah, he was the number one contender for the number one spot to maybe get up to enough big blinds won to get to first place for the cash game challenge. I think that is out of sight now.
Yep, agreed. So guys, around about 15 minutes to go. And we will take a break, myself and Manny, around about an hour break, and then we will be back for our big cash game stream to finish up the cash game coverage here at the Festival Series.
Bobby maybe getting right back into the mix. Pocket aces for him. Not shipping this time. Actually, 4-betting, I believe, is the straddle pot to 400. Unfortunately, no one really having a strong holding here, but he wins £200 immediately after his bigger loss. Probably a little bit disappointed here. Thought this might be a chance to win the money right back with the pocket aces.
Yep, for sure. And wow, James, you have ran very poorly today, my friend. In the straddle with ace king, Jacob waking up with the pocket aces. Can't see any universe where James can get away from this. Jacob gonna be playing a relatively shallow stack once it gets round to James.
Absolutely brutal. I mean, any player in James' seat today, no matter how good they are, they probably would have ended up losing. It's just many coolers. 6 setups. Yeah, what can you do one of those days?
Yeah, for sure. Going to be absolutely no way to get away from this. And he gets the bad news. Jacob with the aces. Gonna need runner, Broadway, or 2 kings. Does not find it. Pretty brutal day at the office for James. Hasn't done too much wrong. Just sometimes the deck is cold, Manny. It can be very cruel.
Especially since it's been the second day in a row for him. Yesterday he had a cold deck day. Today he had a cold deck day. Maybe looking forward to play a chill tournament tomorrow, I can believe. Maybe step away from the cash games for a day or two.
He looks to be taking it pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah,
Does not look too bothered. All right, guys, as we begin to wind down our first stream, about 10 minutes to go. Espen, I believe, now our biggest winner. Most of the players buying in for around about £1,500. A pretty high level, technically, Manuel, you'd say. Not too many loose or, speculative calls pre, we'll say. Lots of 3 and 4 betting. Most players showing a pretty strong understanding of deep stack cash.
Yeah, especially the post-flop sizings has happened really on point today. Recognizing overbet spots, recognizing small bet, C bets. Very good range awareness from everybody here today. Really high-level poker game.
Yep, for sure. So Jacob with the ace-4 of hearts. Rob coming in with the 3-bet from +1 with the king-10 of diamonds. And Jacob just going to let it go. Fresh off doubling with his aces.
I guess I like to fold there with ace 4 suited in a straddle game with the stack sizes being shallower. You just cannot defend as much to 3-bets as in a deep stack game. So yeah, don't mind the fold there.
Yeah, agreed. Out of position too, right? Might be a different story if you are button versus small blind, for example. But yeah, I like fold. Straddle of £30 now on. Could see some fireworks. They have raised the straddle. James looking to run his king queen. And he's just run into it yet again, Manuel.
And I believe this is a flop that we're always going to bet as well. Let's see, maybe you can get lucky and pick up that jack. He does have equity.
Excuse me, sorry to cut you off. I'm somewhat surprised to see Bobby not just try and run this pre. The £30 straddle in there.
Yeah, I guess we can run this pre, but we're in position. Maybe he just wants to keep his weaker range in there. Maybe he feels a little bit of tilt coming. Depending on the reads he has, I would prefer a jam as well. I do agree, but I don't hate the call either.
We can see now why that was not the case. James, in fact, with about 1,500 in front to start the hand, did look in the graphic originally as if he had 500. So you can disregard my analysis. He does have more chips in front. Does check call the king queen. Perhaps thinking Bobby could have some worse king and queen highs of his own that float flop. It seems a pretty clear value bet spot for Bobby.
Yeah, definitely a value bet here for Bobby. Definitely a thin call on the turn for James. The first arguable play. He does still beat some of the bluffs, of course. I think fairly easy bet here on the river and a fairly easy snap fold from James, I would expect.
Yep, absolutely. Been unfortunate, James, for sure. Just ran into the top of his opponent's ranges continually.
Yeah, not a good day at the office, honey. Make me a cup of tea and bring me the blanket.
Loving your understanding of British culture there, Manuel. Bring me my pipe and slippers, darling. It has been a tough day. Ah, dear. Indeed. Right. Enough of my nonsense. Espen, 3.4k. He's up around about £2,000. Bobby had a pretty strong day, apart from that pocket tens little hiccup. Last few hands, guys, of our first stream. Please come back and join myself and Manuel in around about an hour and 10 minutes time. We will be back for the second stream of the evening. It looks like it will be 5, 10, 25 pounds mandatory straddle. Could have some big pots, Manny.
Oh, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a huge game. The biggest you can find here all week, probably. And yeah, we are honored to comment on it. Isn't that exciting?
Absolutely, buddy. So a couple of middle pairs here. Espen with a huge equity advantage, as we could see. Middle pair with a backup jack high flush draw. Rob is going to try and get a little value, believing his sevens to be good. Espen does raise for value, quite like this, aware that he has the best hand. Get a little bit of value and protection. Rob, a non-believer, does continue. River is a deuce. Does go check, check. Espen perhaps electing to raise the turn so that he can set the price to get some river checkbacks. Unless his hand improved. Picks up a nice medium pot. Taking himself up to 3.6k.
I really like the line there with the Jack 7 suited to raise the turn once there was no flop action, and also versus the very small turn sizing. Yeah, the river seems to be fairly easy check. I don't think we can go for value. If you want to have a value bet, a 7 there, which is going to be thin anyways, so you probably want to do it with A7, but yeah, understand the snap check.
Agreed, Manny. Analysis on point from yourself as always. So last few hands of the session. So Manny, Mr. David Hong only has one more cash game challenge session to fade if he wants to win that 1600 Malta package.
Yeah, it's going to be good for us once we know who our opponents are when we travel to Malta. So we can hand in mob Mr. Hong, and if we have him at the table, we know more about him than he does know about us.
Manuel, I'm not sure how you do things in Germany, but abusing your power in such a way to gain an advantage is absolutely encouraged here by myself. Carry on.
No, I believe there's a very, very high chance that Mr. Hong is gonna go to Malta, keep the first place, and he would deserve it. He played some great poker yesterday. Of course, was on a fortunate side of a setup, but yeah, Malta in May. It's gonna be beautiful.
Absolutely. The festival series is off to Malta, guys, 14th to 21st of May. Check out thefestival.com for the schedule, which has just been released to make any of your travel plans. All right, Bobby opening the King Queen. Adam finds the 3-bet with the 4-5 of clubs. Does just take it down.
Fairly early positions here. Don't think Bobby would ever fold the King Queen suited here, but the King Queen off, kind of like a fold or 4-bet hand, I guess, using the blockers. He folds this time. I don't mind it.
Yeah. Jacob in the cutoff, King Jack. Certainly going to face a 3-bet from Rob. Does bump it up to £105. Not typically a hand we're going to want to defend too often. Similar to the last time with King Queen, Jacob does let it go.
And position is a little bit later. The hand is a little bit worse, so it kind of evens out, like the fold as well.
For sure. Did just hear the dealer announce that this is the last hand. So when this hand is done, guys, myself and Manuel, we will take a break for an hour. And we will be back for that 5-10, £25 final cash game challenge stream. Please come back and join us. We appreciate you all, as always, in the Twitch and YouTube streets. And when the dealer announces last hand, you don't mind picking up Ace King.
Yesterday, the last hands we had the 20-40-80 straddle on. Does not seem to be the case this time. Everybody done with this one.
Yeah, Henry electing not even to defend the Ace-9. And that is it, guys, for our first stream. Thank you so much for joining us. As I said, myself and Manny, we are off to have a cup of tea. We're off to get our Tesco value meal. We'll be back. We'll be back in about an hour, guys. Please come back and join us here. And we will see you then for some 5, 10, £25 no limit hold'em action. See you soon.